What's going on, everybody? I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading for the divine feminines this week, okay? So this is just going to be divine feminines, not divine masculines, disclaimer. And so this is going to be looking at the feminine energy for you guys, okay? So the type of energies that are going to be available to you this week. I think today is Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So basically until the 11th of next week, super powerful day, right? 11/11. And I'm also going to be looking at the head space and the heart space for you guys. The guidance from spirit, an outcome then, of course, with your divine masculine, where you guys would be at, and then finally, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys, so you guys know what's happening. All right, so this is just for you guys. It's an empowerment message. Basically, the idea of these types of videos, where focusing on the divine feminine energy, is to give you guys insight into your current situation that has more of a more, it feels, or it's fuck, god damn it. Sometimes when you just start speaking, it actually just comes out like actual Panda Express, just constant shit. Anyway, I'll rephrase that. What I'm trying to say, guys, is that the feel of this type of reading is supposed to be more inclined to help you guys in a more kind of general sense, right? To make sure you guys are on the right path, where you're supposed to be, and not just with your twin flame relationship, but also with your own spiritual journey, because this is a very important time for you guys, okay? For the collective in general, and for a lot of you feminines. And so the goal here and the idea is to help you guys continue on and have some courage, okay? So obviously there's going to be a little bit of the twin flame journey, but this is altogether mostly just for you guys to understand where you're at, okay? Perfect. All right, so fucked up intro aside, let's get started, okay? So I'm just going to start with your energy. A little energy reading going on, all right? So, dear spirit guides and universe, what is going on with the energies for the feminines? What is going to be happening with them this week, near future energy, okay? So this is just going to have some insight into where you guys are most likely headed energetically, okay? First and foremost, we have the Three of Wands, which is an adventure card, okay? It's action and adventure. Like the genre of movie, what this is dictating is events speeding up, a little bit more fast-paced, kind of less drama and more more action, right? So more things are going on, okay? Now this is an early stage card, but as an energy, it does speak to gaining some type of momentum and waiting for things to come in, right? So you might be in an energy right now or in the very near future where you are waiting for the success that you have been longing for, right? And it's not to say that it isn't coming in. Just because it's waiting doesn't mean that it's not going to come, right? The Three of Wands indicates, your success is going to come. Those ships are going to come over the horizon, and they are going to deliver to you the vast amount of goods that are inside them, because they're divinely yours, right? So that's the first card for you guys' energy. It's just basically saying right off the bat that you guys are going to have what you need when you need it, okay? Which often happens on this journey, because you have to give up some sort of control. I mean, the more control you give up to the universe, the better, but it is kind of paradoxical, isn't it? But that's the idea, guys, because you guys are more powerful than you know, but you have to start manifesting from the 5D way of looking at things, because that's how you actually get things done. But moving on, we will see what else you guys got. Drop this card here. And so we have the Judgment card, okay? So this is about making decisions, right? Making decisions about the past, okay? Judgment is always about, wrongdoing, right doing, if that's even a word. But the idea with the Judgment card, though it has definitely a biblical connotation to it, is essentially saying that any decisions that you need to make at this time, you're going to be in the right energy to do so. And you're also going to be able to not only make a decision, but make a final decision. Because there's tons of little choices that we can make in life that aren't really a decision. We can, for instance, text an ex and be like, I'm never going to see you again, or some shit, like F you. But, it's not really a real decision, because sometimes you end up coming back with an ex, right? Or sometimes you say something you don't really mean, or sometimes, you don't really even make a choice. You kind of make no choice, which is in itself a choice, right? So there's lots of little things that we always do as people that aren't really making a choice at all. You know, like on this journey, for instance, how many of you have probably blocked or got, you know, your twin, right? Angry at them at some point where you decided, you know what, I've had enough of them. That still not being a final choice, right? Because you haven't made that internal decision. And that's what this is speaking to. Judgment is an internal decision and a process that's final. And that's why it's the judgment, because you're going to have to be okay with that decision. And you guys have maybe teetered back and forth between decisions, presumably the decision being, well, there's probably a couple scenarios, you know, are they my twin? Yes, no. Should I move on? Yes, no, you know, etc. Those kinds of questions, right? But the idea is that this week, or at least this month, you guys are going to be in that energy, because it's a major arcana, so it's going to be a very big theme. So it's about, you know, making decisions about things, not just with your twin flame, but this is, of course, twin flame reading, so it's going to be heavily focused on that, okay? So internal decisions being made, long story short. But let's keep going. Okay. We then have the Justice card. Okay. Another major arcana. So this is about balance. You can see the balancing scales of this crow that it's holding on, right? So Justice is all about having things at an equilibrium. Having areas of your life, your emotional life, spiritual life, all balance each other out. So, and quintessentially, what this really just comes down to at the end of the day, as far as this reading is concerned, is about feeling some type of universal justice happening in your favor. Meaning that there's going to be some energy that comes along that actually allows you to feel not only justified in the decisions that you have made, but that the decisions that you have made are actually for a higher purpose, or that they're coming in to give you some sort of a balance in your life, to make sure that the things that you have been working towards are actually going to be successful, right? It's an energy of giving you what you truly need now, right? The things that you have waited for, there is going to be some type of successful resolution to that. So in regards to your twin flame relationship, even if you do not hear communication or have some type of stable commitment from your twin that you may want, what you're going to be getting is a very clear energy, a very clear message from the universe that all is well. And so again, if you guys want to start practicing your manifestation, because 11/11 is coming up, it's a good time to start. You can probably prepare for that energy coming in, okay? And what that's going to allow you to do is, you know, again, if you start manifesting and, you know, come from the place of saying, you know, I have the thing that you're trying to manifest, right? Then that thing will manifest quite quickly. And so if you are looking for a sense of justice in your relationship, if you are open to it, meaning it might not come from your twin flame itself, but it could come from the universe in some other kind of form, right? You could hear it in a song, overhear it in a conversation, see it in a comment on Pornhub. There's so many different ways you can actually experience this type of justice energy coming in, okay? The idea being that you guys are going to get what you need and what you want, okay? Things are going to start balancing out for you, okay? So that's a powerful energy to have, and especially with the judgment and justice, they come together that show that whatever choices you make, whatever choices are made for you, they are for your highest good, and they are going to balance your life out completely, okay? Which is very, very good. It sounds a little bit heavy, but it's actually really good. You know, I would consider it, the heaviness of it, kind of like mashed potatoes. It's fucking good. Okay? Heavy, but good. Mashed potatoes are the best kind of potato, and anybody that disagrees, I really don't understand you, because, like, you just put it in your mouth. You don't even have to fucking chew. You just put it in an IV drip and have it straight to your bloodstream. I love potatoes, so I think that's what I'm trying to say here, guys. I'm also Irish, so that's on me. Now, third major arcana. So powerful energy so far this week, guys. Strength card, okay? Lion, right? Symbol of strength. It's too bad, too. I always think of raccoons as very strong animals, but lions it is, right? So, strength card speaks to having grace. And what grace means is being able to weather the storm, weather situations with a sense of inner peace, inner emotional harmony, balance, courage, not being afraid to take steps forward even when things seem a little shitty, shady, hard to deal with. Okay, it's about moving forward. So let's just say you guys have struggled, okay, in October. which many of you have. I definitely have lots of ups and downs, weird shit going on, right? So with the Strength card, what that's saying is you are going to have any necessary courage or anything that you feel have lacked recently. That's going to be there for you, okay? Because these cards are Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana. So all these energies are actually happening at the same time, right? With the Three of Wands there at the beginning, right? Saying that that this is what you've been waiting for, okay? So Strength, you are going to have courage. You are going to have a sense of emotional balance and just being able to face your fears and overcome them, okay? Because your faith is what's going to move you past your fears. And we all have weird-ass fears. I actually should be doing a video on this at another point, but on this twin flame journey and in your spiritual journey in general, what happens is you will get a lot of insecurities, doubt, fears, paranoia, things that are actually even part of you, but maybe even from different lifetimes that you've lived, right? And that will show up now to be released. And so, again, if you have any hidden fears, anything like that, the Strength card there is saying you're going to have the courage to face them, okay? And you'll overcome them, because they're meant to be overcome. So, moving on from that, we'll see what else we can get. So what other energy is available to the feminines this week, dear Spirit? We will see what we get in the 5th position. Okay. And we finally have the Page of Swords. So we ended out with a minor arcana. Okay. And the Page of Swords is it's a quick card. It's cutting. It's not as quick as the Knight of Swords, but still, the crow is moving through the air quite quickly, as you can tell from there's sort of like speed lines in the background there. But swords represent some type of truth. Okay, cutting, mental agility, right? So it's a mental type of truth. So a page is like a person, for example, would be very witty, charming, dry humor, smart, intelligent, that kind of clear-headed, right? The idea here is saying that clarity, okay, it's just really about clarity. It's about, making mental decisions correctly, using logic, just being in a good mental space, okay? So there's going to be an energy that allows you guys to speak your truth more clearly, with your throat chakra, and just be able to think more clearly, okay? Which is really important because you guys might have foggy, brain fog at this time, completely normal part of the spiritual awakening process and the ups and downs and the energy, of course. And you guys just might have felt like decisions have been harder to make, harder to follow through. Discipline might be a little bit off, right? But the idea with the Page of Swords, especially next to the Strength card, is saying, you know what, don't even worry about that. Don't even trip, because these things are going to work themselves out quite quickly, okay? So allow that energy to come in. Just let it process through your body. You really don't have to do much, truthfully, guys. You set an intention. You let your body process the energy, and you just go about your day. And some days, yeah, they're going to suck, but like allow those days to suck, and then, then they won't anymore. You won't have those types of days, People don't really want to experience those parts of life, shitty life parts, things that suck. But what I always tell myself is I want to experience all of life, not just some of it. And when you allow yourself to experience shitty days, shitty times, shitty emotions, you are more likely to release them so you don't have to deal with them in the future. But if you're like me, I like to push them deep, deep down and just fucking shove them, I don't even want to look at them, just shove them so deep. And I just don't deal with them. And then what happens, though, is they'll come up at pretty important parts of my life, times during my life, right, where I actually have a lot of stuff on my plate. And those emotions will come up at the same time. And you don't want to be dealing with that type of stuff when you have important decisions to make, okay? So take it from someone who suppresses quite a lot of their emotions, being a Virgo and all that Catholic guilt that I was raised with. Try to release it as much as you can and just let yourself process, okay? So we're going to move on to your headspace now. I think that's enough of your energy. So upsy-daisy, you go. I got to say the word upsy-daisy at 26. I'm so proud of myself. All right, so we'll get the headspace. All right, so this is how you guys are thinking about your connection with your twin flame, but also it's gonna anything I can read and intuit about your other aspects of your life mentally, I will of course say. All right. So what is the headspace for this twin flame divine feminine collective? Okay, so first and foremost we have the Sun card. Okay, it's talking about joy, happiness, youthfulness. What else is the mental space right now for the feminines? And that Sun card might be a little bit alarming because maybe some of you don't feel that way in regards to your connection with your twin or in general. Here we have maybe a card that makes a little bit more sense. Eight of Swords, which is about moving away from negativity, moving away from situations that don't serve you, much like the Eight of Cups, though with the Eight of Cups it speaks a little bit more to moving away from emotional turmoil. This is about moving away from mental turmoil, okay? Away from negativity. And finally, for your mental space, we will get one more card. What can you tell me, Spirit? And we then have the Nine of Swords, okay, which is anxiety, mental anguish, late nights, sleepless nights, staying up, staring at the wall, all that fun shit, okay? So, mentally, headspace. Okay, the Sun card's very good. It's a major arcana. So what that is saying is it's setting a tone for something that's happening behind the scenes or will happen behind the scenes. It's basically about that deep love that seeps through from your heart and will still penetrate through your thoughts, right? So no matter how negative things get in your relationship with your twin, or even aspects of your life, you have this deep understanding and this deep knowing that everything's going to be okay, and that love that your soul has for you, you know, it seeps through into your life, into your daily life, and into your experience, and that still allows you to hold on to some type of hope, which is what many of you have. And what the sun, you know, the sun is it rises, right? You know, it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Which is a really cliche expression, and I don't even know if that's scientifically correct. I have no idea, presumably, but you know, whatever. And so, you know, but the sun representing a type of joy, right? Things like, oh, finally it's sunny out, the rain goes away. You know, that type of energy, right? But with the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords, of course, it's saying that, you know, the negativity is too much to deal with, and you guys are trying to remain in a more positive frame of mind, because I think by this point in your journey, for many of you, definitely for the people I'm reading, you guys are trying to manifest things in your life, right? Things that don't just happen to do with your twin flame. And in order to do that, you have to be more positive. You have to understand where you're at currently and what you're working towards, right? So a lot of you guys are trying to move away from sleepless nights, late nights, anxiety. There still might be some of that, still trying to figure out aspects of the connection that don't make sense to you, right? All of that stuff. So your mental space is kind of a little bit torn, right? Some of you guys might be going days without thinking about them and feeling fine, and then the other couple of days of the week, you know, you're thinking about them a lot and it's keeping you up at night, right? That's completely natural with the energy that's going on. The Sun card is also suggesting that because there is that energy available, because there is a successful resolution, because it is darkest, because it is darkest before the dawn, because there is going to be some sun rising, right? That you might be experiencing some negativity now, and it's just coming up to the surface to get released. Right now, energetically, there's a lot of obsessive thoughts coming up. Any emotions that you have buried between you and your twin are going to come up at this time. You might be thinking about them. I've been having some weird-ass dreams lately with straight-up conversations, okay, with who may or may not be my twin. I'm pretty detached from. I don't even know what to call it anymore. But I should come up with a new word, but I haven't. But maybe someday. But anyway, just having dreams that I've been having pretty realistic dreams, and you guys might be experiencing the same thing. Okay, you most likely are. So keep that in mind. That's really what's going on here. So mentally, you know, you guys are trying to get to a better place. Just might be dealing with some leftovers. Okay, some hurt. You know. Normal type of stuff, but again, let it process through, okay? But the Sun card here definitely suggesting that there is some positive resolution to all of this, okay? And that, you know, you guys will be feeling or thinking better about this situation over the month of November, because, you know, as much as you guys might not think about it or even believe it, the universe is actually working for you to make you go through all this shit because it wants to give you what you want, right? But you have to remove the obstacles in the way. If there's fear or pain or shame or any other rhyming words, you have to release it. Otherwise, you can't accept the love. Okay? So maybe that makes sense, maybe not, but we'll work around to your heart space, okay? So, dear Spirit, what is the heart space for the feminines? How are they feeling towards their masculines, and what else is going on with them emotionally? Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. That's definitely a lot of self-love going on. Also speaks to wanting some type of communication, right? Some type of messenger, some type of message going on there. See what else we can get. How else are they feeling at this time? We have the Fool. So the Fool card is about taking leaps of faith, right? Taking, beginning adventures, essentially, right? This bird looks pretty ready to fly away, right? Start something. Major Arcana. And finally, for the third card, we have the Knight of Wands, which is a very fast-paced card, definitely about energies picking up, blockages being lifted, right? Obstacles being removed, okay? So a lot of passion, right? So it's interesting. You both, in the mental space, you have a Major Arcana, and here you have a Major Arcana, right? So your mental space, a little bit more hectic, a little bit more torn. But your emotional space, your heart space, more full and more representative of your inner truth and your intuition and your, your soul, right? Your heart, obviously. So the idea here, guys, is there might be a lot of self-love going on, taking care of yourself, okay? And it could be small things, could be large things. I've been taking my physical health a lot more seriously because I'll tell you one thing, and I would love to actually do a full video on this, but a little snippet of wisdom that I'd like to share with you guys is that the universe is part of you, but knowing that, which I think many of you do, you also have to understand that the universe, you are part of the universe. The universe is you, and you are the universe. Okay? So that means the universe works for you, but it also means that you have to work for yourself. So if you feel that the universe is kind of, dicking you around, screwing you around, not giving you what you want, you are essentially doing that to yourself. Okay? And so, if you start taking care of yourself better, physically, emotionally, mentally, and start giving yourself the love that you need as if you were dealing with one of your own children. I know many of you have children, and you're all, I've met a lot of you guys, and a lot of you are truly great mothers, okay? And if you were to treat your treat yourself like you would a kid that you have, right? Then you would truthfully, you start feeling better about yourself. And when you start feeling better about yourself, the more you can manifest what you want, the more you can get what you want, and the more that you believe that the universe is going to work for you, right? And that's what happens. So just a small example for myself in my own life. I've been taking, for a while I would keep going to the gym and I would lose a lot of weight. Or I would just focus on cardio, right? I used to weigh 220 pounds, and now I weigh about 160, okay? And for like last month, all of October, I was trying to get to 150. I have no idea why, I just was obsessed with it, I guess. But I couldn't do it no matter what, and I would always self-sabotage and end up eating a bunch of chocolate and shit, okay? Whatever. But recently, I came to the conclusion that I need to treat my body better. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean just going on a treadmill for 30 minutes and running my ass off because I have some image of trying to be like super skinny or some shit, right? Because that's not actually self-love. The exercise part is nice, but you have to have a type of reason why you're doing it that's actually truthful, okay? I was doing it from a negative mind space. Now, what I realized quite soon, recently, is that what I needed to be doing was actually building muscle and becoming stronger and actually taking care of myself in that way, okay? And since I've started doing that for the past week or so, I've been very disciplined with it. I would always do it to some degree, but never consistently. But I've actually have a friend who put me on like a workout plan, and I've just been taking care of myself like that, okay? So that's what the Page of Cups is saying here. It doesn't mean that you're doing the same thing, but there's going to be some elements of taking care of yourself in a better way, something that's actually more honest and true for you, okay? And that's where your heart space is at. It's actually a little bit more self-love, a little bit more self-care. Okay, I feel that for the majority of you, that's what's really going on. Also, it's going to speak to some element of wanting communication, wanting a message from them, but ultimately this is coming down to some type of self-love, okay? But still in your heart space, you still want to take this leap of faith. You still wonder where this relationship would go. And of course, you still have a lot of passion for your divine masculine. You still love them. And, the Knight of Wands and the Fool definitely suggestive that there isn't really anybody that can fulfill you in that same way, that same emotional reaction that you have, right? It's very rare that that happens. So a lot of you guys at this time might be just choosing to actually be single. I will tell you that I have chosen to be single, and what I mean is that I'm not talking to people, right? I'm not talking to any girls or anything like that, not like that, because I've chosen to be single. Because it's more important for me to focus on myself than to involve myself in distractions that don't actually serve me at this time, especially since I have a lot of stuff going on, right? And you guys might be going through the same thing. Distractions, dating other people, it's nice if you've had that experience. I let myself get that experience, but it's very hard for me at this time to really feel that same passion that I once had with a particular person in my life, okay? And you guys might be feeling the same way. And so you have to work through that and to understand that. And so, in your heart space, you guys are feeling that as well, but still having a lot of passion for them and still wanting some type of new beginning with them in your heart, deep, deep down, right? Even if your mental space, you're trying to move away from them, think about other things, get to a more positive state, be more independent, think more freely, get rid of the negative thoughts, right? Stop being chained to them. That's all great, and that's a great energy to be in, but of course, in your heart, you can never erase the truth, okay? It'd be nice if you could, but you can't. So, that's your heart space. That was your head space above, moving that stuff up out of my way. We are now going to get, we're going to get some guidance, okay, from Spirit. Okay, so this is 3 cards that the universe wants you to know. Okay, and then I'm going to pull 3 more cards from the Oracle deck that I got going on over there. So, dear universe, what is it that you want this feminine collective to know about their near future? What is going on with them? What do they need to know? So the first card that we have is the Hierophant, okay? What that is suggesting to you guys is that learn more, okay? As a guidance card, it's saying go out and find some type of counsel, okay? Now, could be therapy, could be reading books, could be, just going to school, or if you're in school, just learning more about something that interests you, okay? Taking on a new role, okay? And just doing what you can to learn the information that you need, okay? It could be so many different things for so many of you, okay? But for instance, in my own life, I've been having, I don't have anybody that I can talk to, okay? So, I have friends and stuff like that, and some of them are quite good, but I don't have it on a consistent basis, or I live a little bit far away from them, or there's just some things that you don't want to share with people. Okay, sometimes you just like to have secrets, because you don't have to share everything about yourself with everyone. Some things are just for you, and I have things like that are just for me that I don't tell anybody. But I would like to work through some of them actually. And so, for instance, I've been thinking, well, maybe I can talk to a therapist or find somebody that I trust, or some type of counselor, or somebody that, it doesn't have to be that, but somebody that I can talk to, like actually open up to and be a little bit vulnerable to, but I haven't found anybody like that, okay? And obviously that's up to me to be vulnerable, but if I haven't found anybody that I feel comfortable with, then I'm going to respect that as well, okay? And so my goal and my intention here is to try and manifest somebody that I can actually feel vulnerable with and talk to, okay? To help understand some of the emotions that I have, because as smart as I like to think that I am, I don't actually have all the answers, at least for myself sometimes, right? So the idea here is about seeking out some type of counsel. So if you guys are struggling with something, whatever it may be, seek out help that resonates with you the most. It could be just something as simple as going and reading a book, even if it's fiction, okay? There's lots of fictions that will give you just as much insight, if not more, than some bullshit self-help book by some guy who just made millions and charges thousands of dollars for a ticket at a stadium, okay? So keep that in mind as well. All right, so we'll see what else we got going on with our guidance you have for the feminines. We have the 5 of Wands, which is about conflict, debates, arguments. I'll tell you right now what this is saying. It's not saying to have them, it is saying to avoid them. Avoid getting involved with arguments at this time. This card could not have come up at a better time for me. There's a lot of weird shit going on around me that I can sense, and I feel like people are trying to pull me into some weird types of arguments and shit, and I'm very, very dejected. And this card is a huge reminder for me, from Spirit, to be like, yo, don't get involved because you'll regret it. Okay, so same thing with you guys, all right? Don't get involved with arguments, debates. Just don't, okay? There's a time for speaking your truth, and that's fine. If somebody's trying to argue with you or attack you, then absolutely defend yourself. Or do whatever you feel is necessary. I'm not your dad, but the idea is to, follow your own truth in your heart there. But the guidance of Spirit is to avoid it when necessary, when you can, right? So if other people are trying to drag you into arguments between them, don't get involved. Do not, guys, okay? Don't get involved, all right? I got a little situation in my life. People are trying to get me to argue with them. Maybe once it's over, I'll probably tell you what that guy's is, but I usually don't share what's happening in my life before the conflict has been resolved. Just let it play out. But anyway, that's essentially what it is. If there are any conflicts in your life, work, home, school, I don't even know what other aspects of life there are, I guess. But romance, friendships, partnerships, Dairy Queen. I have no idea. Avoid arguments, okay? Guidance from spirit. Avoid altercations the best you can. And finally, we have the Page of Wands, okay? Another wand card. So more energy, fire energy, which is, of course, passion and stuff. But the Page of Wands is about communication and good news. So I can tell you as a guidance card, what this is, what I'm picking up absolutely intuitively, is you guys can expect to hear some good news. Now, I can't tell you it's going to happen tomorrow. For some of you, it might. Again, this is a general reading. But you will get some type of good news, hear some type of good news. There will be some message that you will get in the near future, probably this month, honestly. That I feel that very heavily, that you guys will get something that actually lifts your spirits. Now, I don't know to what degree, you know what I mean? I don't feel that, if somebody says, oh, I love you, that'd be nice, right? But sometimes it's really not all that cracked up to be. But the idea here is that you get something that will lift your spirits, keep you going. And that probably makes a lot of sense because, again, there is that strength card in your energy, which is about finding the courage and the necessary help and the energy to move forward. So that might be in direct relation to hearing some type of good news, okay? So that is your guidance with the tarot cards. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards from the Nature Oracle deck, and I am going to read them. So I'm going to get 3, okay? So, dear Spirit, what messages do you have, what guidance do you have for the Divine Feminine Collective? 3 cards. Okay. Alright, so I got this card for you guys yesterday for the Divine Feminines, okay? Which was, again, Gardenia, Emotional Protection. I'm obviously going to read it again, but because not everybody would have seen this video, but okay. What else can I get going on here? Jesus. We have the Dandelion, which is Persist in Pursuits. Okay, Persist in Pursuits. A lot of P's going on there. And finally, let's see what else I got. And we have Walnut, Transition and Initiation. Okay, so I'm going to read those to you guys from this little booklet. And it's going to be great, and you guys are going to listen, and you're either going to like it or you're not. And that's really it, I think. So we'll start in the order that it came out. So we'll start with the Gardenia. Okay, emotional protection. All right, so Gardenia is a very protective flower toward our emotional being. It strengthens the aura so that we are less impacted emotionally by people and events around us. Right, literally with that 5 of wands there, right, I was talking about. I have often recommended it to healers, counselors, and such to prevent becoming emotionally tied to their clients' issues and problems. So, again, any feminines right there, if you guys are owning your own business or anything like that, use this flower to protect yourself from others' energies, okay? When Gardenia appears, you will see a shift in your emotional well-being. You will become clearer, and there will be an increasing sense of peace. Issues that you have been concerned about, especially with friends and loved ones, will calm. Focus on your own emotional health. Trust in your thoughts and perceptions. They are much clearer and becoming free of the emotional fog. Remember, brain fog that I was talking about earlier in the video, all that stuff's going to clear up, okay? All this stuff is connected, so it's really interesting to see as I go along reading it, all right? So we're going to move on to the Dandelion, which is another flower, I guess. Right, they're everywhere, pretty common. So, persist in pursuits, okay? The dandelion is often treated as a pest and not recognized for its wonderful quality. It is a plant filled with vitamins and minerals, and as a herbal remedy, it has an application to easing skin conditions. I didn't know that. This tenacious plant reminds us to persist. Don't give up just because others do not understand or feel something may not be beneficial or because they are unable to see beyond the surface. If you persist, you will succeed. Do not stop trying, and do not let others dissuade you right now. Wishes come true through believing and persisting. Absolutely true, guys. Anything that you guys are doing, whether it's spiritual, creative work, personal, anything you're trying to do, don't let others dissuade you, okay? Giving up something that others may want to do, right? Trying to create something, just, keep doing that, okay? Keep following that type of thing, because the energy is, you keep going, and while you may fail, you're not going to fail forever. You're meant to fail a couple times, right? That's the idea. But all that being said, it doesn't really matter too much because you're going to be successful. This card is here to show you that you're going to be successful. You don't have to worry too much about how you get there. Just keep doing it and trust in that effort. Okay? Never give up on your dreams. Seriously, because you really only get this life, and once you're aware that this is your incarnation and this is your experience, and always remind yourself of that, you will get the life that you deserve and that you want. Okay? Sometimes it just has to happen in a specific way, because that's the only way that you'll ever actually appreciate it. Okay? For instance, I would love to win the lottery right now. It might be nice to get like $1,000 grand. That might really help me out. And of course, 40, 50, 60 grand would really, really help me out, right? But sometimes if I don't, if you, the proverbial you, but if I were to get like $1 million or something tomorrow, I wouldn't be doing or learning anything. I'd still be like realizing my pursuits and my projects, but I would probably become a lot really arrogant. You know what I mean? I'd probably lose a little bit of myself and lose sight of myself, probably completely, if someone were to just hand me $1 million tomorrow, because I sense with my own self I still have some work to do, still have some discipline, still need to take care of myself a little bit better, and so that once you do that, I'll probably be deserving of more of the gifts of the universe in monetary, financial, 3D types of ways, right? Which is the stuff I'm trying to manifest. Okay, so don't give up. Okay, you are growing, which is important because you grow so you deserve, and you deserve so you can get. Okay, so moving on to the final one, which is walnut. Walnut, right? Transition and initiation. Be careful what you ask for, as you may just get it. I just literally said that shit. You have wanted changes in your life, and now they are upon you. Walnut heralds a time of transitions, a time of endings and beginnings. It is a time to sweep up the closets and attics and open up to new possibilities. Initiate as many changes as you wish right now. There is protection around you in them, and they will bear fruit for you in the future. This is a time of rebirth and the awakening of greater freedom of your spirit. It is time to break free, make moves, end what no longer works, initiate beginnings in as many areas of your life as possible. Right? So again, basically kind of what I was saying earlier, but same principle, same message here, is to keep going, understand that the changes are upon you, and you will get what you wish for. Again, month is 11/11's coming up. Okay, remember that it's a Monday, next Monday, and focus on what you want. Just a little side step. I've been wanting to get out of this house for a long time. Okay, this house blows a lot, and my roommate is moving, which I'm actually happy for, and my mother won't have the rent to pay, and so she'll be probably in a couple months moving either out of state or back to Canada where I was born. No matter whatever happens, I'm not going with her. I got my own life, my own shit to do, and I'm not close with my family anyway. So the idea here being that I asked for it, so here it is, and maybe not in the way I would have chosen, because it's like, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen to me. But I did ask for it, okay? So that's, again, walnut, right? But initiate as many changes as you can. Like I said earlier, I'm focusing more on my health now. And because of that, it's been more disciplined. I've had more discipline because I've been trying to initiate a change. And because of that, the universe has been working for me and with me, okay? And it always will do that if it's your honest truth, okay? So be honest with yourself as well, guys. Not that the card said that, but that just came in as a message, right? So now I'm going to pull an outcome, okay? So like 4 cards is an outcome with you and your twin. Over, I don't know, near future, this month, next month, whatever it may be, okay? So, dear universe, what is the outcome of this group of feminines' relationship with the masculine? What is the outcome for this month of November, near future? What can you tell me? Outcome between this group and their masculine, okay? So, we have the Magician. Again, this is about manifestation. This has come out a lot in this reading, okay? That word, it's a hot word, I guess, this reading. But the idea here, again, November is a powerful month for manifestation. There's that 1, right? 11. Magician manifests. Use the tools of the universe. So again, if you really want your twin, start setting that intention. Start setting something about them, okay, this month. So there is going to be a lot of energy available to you guys. You guys are going to be manifesting things, okay? We then have the Hermit. So this is saying that, again, this month, and November, it does start to get cold, snowy, right? Depending on where you live. I live in Southern California. None of this shit's going on. But, you guys might live in Maine or wherever it is that you live. And so the idea, got a little seasonal stuff going on. Gets closer to Christmas, but the Hermit is about separation. So this is about being isolated right now. And again, Magician next to the Hermit, 2 major arcanas, but also kind of suggests that you guys are trying to manifest a way to end the separation. But it's saying that you guys are manifesting, focusing on your manifestation. The Hermit card is saying the state of relationship is or is about to. Just going through a little bit of separation, so you and them, but mostly you, since this is about you, can find out what it is that you really want, connect to yourself, connect to your higher self in a deeper way, and just take some time for yourself, okay? Again, focusing on that self-love that was in your heart space. But it's just saying, that your relationship is going through some changes right now, but you are actually manifesting it just in maybe you are manifesting it with your heart and your intentions and your actual true desire, but how it's going to play out might be a little bit different. And so it always helps to align your mind with that truth, okay? But then look at that. You have the Ace of Wands, which is a new beginning. Passionate, sexual beginning. There's a lot of sexual energy with that, but also a lot of, it's a great card for, travel, okay? Traveling towards each other. Great for, of course, being an ace as a beginning card, and just being able to renew something, renew the energy, renew the feelings, renew the passion. Okay, so the passion that may not have been there in the recent history past is going to come in full circle. Okay, after these energies work themselves out, because they are major arcana, which is more of longer durational energy, behind the scenes energy. But once they work themselves out, once you let yourself go through them, once you just complete that part of the journey, there is going to be this passion that's going to be renewed. Probably in you, probably in them, but whatever it is, whatever the case is, it's going to be quite invigorating, okay? And this is, for November, so, I asked for November specifically, okay? I also did say near future, but the idea there being November and December, okay? That was my intention. And finally, we have, I'm probably not going to end it here, but we have the 5 of Pentacles, okay, which is about being left out in the cold. So that is about having that next to Ace of Wands, is really basically saying that it's going to be that beginning comes after a period, again, of separation, right? Being left out in the cold, because we then have the Queen of Wands, which is a very strong feminine energy. Very much about, being in touch with nature, being in touch with, with her own pursuits, with her own creativity. Okay, it's a very strong feminine energy. Very, again, very, very passionate, right? So it's about being a strong, kind of independent woman, but also very emotional and strong. And just as an energy, right? You don't have to actually be a woman to experience that, but that is kind of the idea, is the outcome, right? Okay. And then I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so, and then just reading it as a story. So for the month of November, okay, this probably makes a lot of sense because it's just kind of a short period of time. But the idea here for a lot of you guys, okay, at least for this collective that I'm reading for, is, you guys are manifesting this relationship, okay, but because you're manifesting it, because you're going through this, there are some things that need to be healed or taken care of, and that's why you have the Hermit card, just this indication of separation, again with the 5 of Pentacles, right? Being left out of the cold, but it's also saying that you're being tested right now. It's not a final thing, okay? Ace of Wands, though, is saying there is going to be some passion is going to be renewed. Something is going to probably occur this month that either happens externally or internally. Maybe you guys do see each other. Maybe you run into them. Maybe they come home for Thanksgiving or whatever, right? That's a thing that's happening this month, right? Whatever happens with that, right? There's so many different possibilities, right? There could just be something that initiates or ends a type of separation, either internally, it could happen externally. Of course, it depends on everybody and every circumstance, but you never know what really will happen, right? And then you have the Queen of Wands, which is about, again, another wand card, renewing that energy, renewing that passion, which there seems to be a lot of, okay? And again, you had that Page of Wands up there, which is about hearing good news. So you might hear good news about this. You might hear something from them or somebody that says something about them or just something in general that is about twin flames that helps you just understand things more and just helps you be in a more passionate, secure place. So really what's happening over this month is you're manifesting a type of a more secure version of this relationship within yourself, okay? And it may manifest through something internal. It may manifest through something external, okay? Just pay attention to that because the Hermit is internal and the Five of Pentacles is external. Okay, so something might happen on the outside that allows you to feel this passion again. Maybe there's something that happens to you, maybe it's them, maybe it has something to do with them, or maybe it's internal, meaning that you just come to your own conclusions through meditation or your own spiritual practices, or just through divine timing, whatever it may be, that allows you to connect to that relationship or that aspect of that relationship again. Okay, so that is the outcome for this month. All right, so all in all, good reading for you guys. I think you guys are right where you need to be. A lot of positive stuff going on. You guys are going to be, this is a huge month for you guys, especially, I definitely felt more than anything through this through this reading, that you guys are going to be secure. Okay, you guys are going to be safe this month. So if that's a theme in your life, which has been definitely for me, then that's good news. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, all the information about private readings and other services that I offer are in the description box. All right, guys, so I will talk to you guys later on this week, and I hope you guys enjoy your Tuesday. All right, guys.